Sadie, you're going to be free tonight, right? We're having a little get-together for drinks tonight, so please come around 8 p.m. at this place. Hey, Sadie, do you mind replying to me? I'm sorry, I was just having a meeting at work. I'm not going to be able to make it tonight. Sorry. Huh? You, of all people, are going to act cocky like that? Well, you're asking me to go out with you all at 8 p.m. tonight, and it's almost 5 already. I'm sure once you get out of work today, you're just going right home to watch TV all night, right? If it's something that you really want to watch, just record it and watch it later. Actually, I have plans to meet with someone else tonight. And when it comes to that little get-together you're throwing, it's meant to help find you someone to date, right? Every time you invite me out, you always say it's to have drinks or it's a class reunion, but in reality, every time it's been in order to help you find a man, right? Well, if I said they were all meant to help me find a man, you would never come, right? Well, I don't have a reason to go. You just bring me to those events to use me as someone you can bash on, thinking that'll help you find someone. All that does for me is embarrass me. Listen, Sadie, I'm just trying to be a good friend by showing the both of us around to some men, in the hopes that the both of us end up with husbands someday. So if anything, I'd like you to thank me for doing that all the time. Well, it's never fun for me, though. Well, because you're supposed to find someone after me. I want you to sit beside me and take the crap I give you, and then once I've gotten myself the man I want, you're free to go find yourself one. Honestly, it's best this way because I help make you look more attractive. Let's be real here. You're a very basic woman with not that many features that men want. So by having me as a friend at all these events, I'm practically handing you a power-up that you can use. Sorry that you're just that out of touch with the man-hunting game, that it makes you feel bad when you have to sit next to 100 like me. If you don't have more friends like me around you, you know the loud and crazy type, then men are never going to notice you. Well, I don't like any of that, hence why I don't want to go anymore. Oh, come on now. Back in elementary school and back in middle school and back in high school, I was always there by your side helping you find boys, right? And when it came to the high school beauty contest, I was there helping you win. I really never liked to stand out that much though, so you forcing me through all of that was awful. But because of me, you became pretty popular, right? I'm not so sure about that. Well, anywho, I've already gotten some people together to go out to that matching party, so I need you there. You have no other choice now but to come. Tonight, I have a lot of fighting spirit, and I don't want it going to waste. You always have a lot of fighting spirit, though, when you go to those things. But today's different. Today, a really popular comic artist is going to be there, and he has sold millions of copies of his latest series. A comic artist? Right now, his most popular series is being made into a TV show, and he's been in all sorts of magazines. He's so popular that I bet most of the people we hang out with know him. And today, I'm planning on making that man my best friend, and hopefully something more in the future. One of my other friends that happens to know him personally said they'd introduce me to him as well today. Mandy, are you even interested in things like comic books? Not really. Comics are for nerds, right? I don't think that's a good way of looking at it. Right now, comics and movies and shows based on them are a big deal. And they make a ton of money with their collectibles and toys as well. Yeah, I don't really care for comic books, but I do happen to care for money. Money? Being a famous comic artist doesn't just get you all the attention, but the money as well. The fact that he has a TV series in the making right now based off his comics tells me he's in for another large paycheck. I'm sure everyone is going to want to watch his series, and once that's over, movie producers and people like that will be flooding to him to ask to make more movies and material off his comics. And what's even better about him is that since he works on comics all the time, he's most likely never out of his house for anything, meaning that once I've made him mine, there will be no other women that can get to him, right? He is the #1 person that I need to be getting married to right now. I wonder. But if you both don't share some of the same hobbies, I'm not sure things will work out in the long run. You're a real idiot. That's why you still haven't found a man to marry yet. The most important thing when it comes to marriage is money. And the other most important thing is someone that will give you space. I want a man with lots of money who is too focused on his work to be bothered with me. then what you're wanting is not a partner, but someone you can get money from without having to really do anything with them? Really, I think you're better off finding yourself a bank or something to do that for you. That's 100% correct. The man is supposed to make the money in order to make his woman happy, and in return, her being happy will keep her around him longer. Understood? In other words, I'm going to get myself that walking pile of cash who calls himself a comic book artist today. If I'm able to make things work between him and I, then my life will be set forever. Well, if that's what you're doing, then I really can't go. I already have plans, and I really don't care to be your wingman or whatever anymore. And I think after today, you can just stop inviting me to go out with you all together. Now, I have some work to finish up on, so that's it from me for today. Hey, Sadie, what the hell is going on here? You turned down my invite to come with me to find ourselves some men to go on a date with your fiancé? She told you? And from what I heard, he seems to have a lot of money. There's no way you found a man like that. I prefer not to tell you yet because you'd be a pain in my butt about it. My mom would never keep quiet about something like this. I guess so. She's always been the type who can't keep her dang mouth shut, always spilling the beans about everything and anything in order to create drama. Now, you tell me about this fiancé. I'm getting married, Mandy. I'm not messing around right now. Who said you could get married before me? Is that a bad thing? It sure as hell is. I should be the one getting married before you. I don't think there's ever been a set path for who gets married first, though. I've also been shown a picture that my mom took. He is way too good looking for a plain loser like you. And that wristwatch he has on, that's one of those insanely expensive ones, right? She took a picture of us? She took it in secret. You're kidding me. She'd do something like that? So, is it true that you're planning on marrying that sexy man? Well, that's what he and I have been talking about. We haven't chosen an exact date for the wedding, but we're wanting one soon. Where will it be happening at? As of right now, we're thinking of having it in Hawaii. Hawaii? Both of us don't really like to stand out all too much, so we've been looking for a place that's away from everyone. There we can have just close friends and family come, and that will be enough for us. And since this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing for us, we decided we want to have the wedding at a nice, secluded resort for all of our guests. So you're going to be getting married before me, and to add salt to the wound, you're having the wedding in Hawaii? Do you really think it's okay to be that stupid? Because to me, it sure as hell is not okay. Winter, that fiancé of yours and that wedding, you give both to me right now. Huh? What are you talking about? I'm saying that I'll take your place for you. He has enough money to throw a wedding in Hawaii, right? And when looking at his face, there is not a thing wrong with it. He also has a good sense of fashion based off the clothing he had on. A man with that kind of high-brand expensive clothing on would do so much better with me as his wife. High-brand expensive clothing? Was the clothing he had on yesterday really that expensive looking to you? You really have no idea what's going on, do you? Everything he was wearing was all very high-brand fashion that is hard to obtain in this town. Hard to obtain anywhere besides in, like, New York City or something. Well, I never knew anything about that. But what I'm more concerned about right now is you asking me to hand over my fiancé when we only just got engaged. There's no way I'd let you have him, right? Back in high school, you gave me a boyfriend, right? You stole him from me. He was my first love, and you stole him. Then I guess I'll be stealing another of your boyfriends. What? Do you have any idea what you're saying right now? This is a lot different than a high school boyfriend. We are engaged right now. And it doesn't matter to me what your guys' titles are. It's far too easy to steal from you, so that's what I'm going to do. You cut that out. You need to go out and find a single man of your own to get at one of those parties or whatever the hell you've been doing. Stop bothering me with all your crazy ideas. And the most recent party was a bust. That comic artist that was said to be coming never showed up. And at this age we're at now, all the men that show up to those parties are all useless to me. So I'm done trying to find myself a husband there. What the heck? So now that my mom was kind enough to tell me about your fiancé for me, I'm clear to go and get him. Thank you for finding him for me. It's a lot easier to just steal men from someone else than it is to go to those matching parties. Wait a second. Right now, my fiancé and I are in a very important and busy part of our lives, so stop trying to ruin this for us. Sadie, are you doing all right? I'm sure you're not, though. I was able to steal your fiancé after all, and right at this moment, he's in this room with me. And it wasn't just him that I was able to get, but your wedding that's in Hawaii as well. Sorry about that. Huh? I'm having my wedding right now here in town, though. What? What are you talking about? Your fiancé is literally sitting right beside me now. Actually, I want to know what you're talking about. I was just out on stage with my fiancé a second ago getting married, and we're preparing for the dance now. Hold it right there. What is going on here? Honestly, I'm not sure myself. A little while back, you were going on about how much you wanted to steal my fiancé from me, but for the past 3 months, nothing has been happening between us. I just assumed you gave up or something. Wait, what's this about having your wedding right now in town? You should be having the wedding in Hawaii, right? I suppose we did want to have the wedding out there, but I had a lot of people asking to come to my wedding, and since the amount of people wanting to come would be too many for the Hawaii-based location, we ended up having the wedding here. There is a famous person at this wedding after all, so it makes sense that a lot of people would want to come to it. Famous person? Who? My fiancé. And actually, the vows are already over with, and we handed in the marriage papers yesterday, so I really should be calling him my husband now. What famous person? The comic artist that you were saying everyone knows about. Huh? Comic artist? You do remember the time I told you I got hired to work for a publishing company, right? And the most recent series that he got started on happens to be published by the company I work for, and I manage the publishing for his work. When the comics start going out on shelves, the one in charge is going to change, but as of right now, I'm the one that oversees all the work done to help create the actual published material. But that's not all I've been working on, as I'm also helping him with getting his comic series turned into movies. You said that I said everyone knows him? Is he Cartman? Cartman McNeils? That's him. He was the man who was supposed to come to that party to see me! Right, and when I went out to dinner with him that night, he told me all about you. He told you about me? He said something along the lines of one of his friends wanting him to go to this matching party to meet a woman his friend knows, but of course my husband said no to that. He's actually told me all about how once he became famous, there have been all these people inviting him to parties trying to get him hooked up with someone, and of course every single time he said no to them. And that's why on the day you were expecting to meet him, he said no to the invite because he had plans with me. Not like he was going to go there in the first place, though. Wait, then that means the picture my mom took of you guys. The guy that's sitting right next to me is... Now that you mention that, I think I know what's happened. On that day, I had met with 2 different men. I had dinner with my now husband, of course, but there was this random man that came to the restaurant before my husband arrived. Are you telling me that the man sitting next to me is... That's the random guy, I think. Well, he's not random to me anymore, but at the time he was. He so happens to be my husband's fashionable older brother. And he has a lot of borrowed money he's currently dealing with at the moment. My husband didn't end up inviting him to the wedding today, so that's why he's currently with you. Older brother? And he's dealing with lots of borrowed money now? On the day of our dinner date, he came in to talk with me about how he's the man I would be dating's older brother, and that he needed our financial help. He knew about me being a publisher and tried to get me to start buying his own comics that he was making. Comics? He's always been a bit artistic as well when it comes to comics, but unlike his younger brother, he really sucks at illustrating and writing stories, so after reading just one of those comics he was asking me to buy, I told him it was a no. He was told the same thing by many publishers, actually, but he never gave up and soon went into major debt because he would never work a job, instead sitting in the house all day making those crappy comics. He's never told me about how he makes comic books, and he sure has not told me about his debt. Anytime we've gone out on dates, he's always paid for me. My husband's older brother had been married once before, and while he had a wife, he went to making comics because he noticed his younger brother doing so well from them. So with this dream of making loads of money himself doing what his brother did, he quit his job and started to draw and write. However, he spent all his time trying to make comics that he stopped spending any time with his wife and baby. So not too long after that, his wife took the baby and left. And ever since then, he's just been digging and digging and digging himself into a deeper hole of debt. You're lying, right? I never heard anything about all of that. He was married and he has a kid? He has been trying to live a life of lies, and that's why he buys all that really high-brand clothing. And if he were selling his comics instead of just continuing to write garbage, he'd probably be okay right now. But he hasn't been doing that, and instead keeps borrowing money to fuel his desire to buy every single piece of branded clothing. Mandy, you're going to marry him? Hell no, not with a man like him. I don't need a man that can't become my bank. Well, I'm planning on cutting ties to you soon. But if you get married to my brother-in-law, then we're going to have to continue being around one another a lot more than I'd like. So if you can, please break up with him right now. Are you really married to that comic artist? You went and took my dream from me, and he chose to marry you over me? Why? I should be the one right now married to him, not you. Had my mom not taken that picture at the wrong time, I could be there getting married to him. It's actually really crazy that with just one picture, you were able to find my husband's brother and start to date him. My mom told me that he left the restaurant before you did, and so she followed him out and asked for his number. She told him that she wanted to introduce him to a good friend of yours. Aunt Deborah really did it this time, then. That's why after seeing the photo my mom showed me and the number she handed me, I gave him a call. So your mom thought that because he was sitting down with me at the time she was there, that he was my boyfriend, even though my actual boyfriend was running a little late? And seeing him walk out of the restaurant before his younger brother came to have dinner with me, she must have thought my boyfriend was heading home, and that's why she went and got his number? Your mom just made a minor mistake is all then. That's right, one minor mistake. I haven't done anything wrong here. She was the one who made the mistake, and I only started to go out with this guy because of that mistake. But you were doing all this with the intent of stealing my boyfriend at the time, right? In the end, there was never any problems for me, but I now understand what you've been after completely. And this only proves that you haven't changed from the Mandy you were in the past, who always treated me like trash. Now that I've been able to clearly see that you're still a terrible person, I can gladly say that I'm cutting ties with you. I actually need to do this before you start to actually cause trouble for my husband and I. You can't cut ties to me that easily. I am one of your best friends, and we've been together forever. You might happen to know where my parents live, but you don't know my address, right? So, goodbye forever now. Even though Aunt Deborah had been the one pushing for all of this, she ended up kicking both Mandy and her boyfriend out of the house. Mandy had tried to break things off with him, but he refused to let her go. He needed her financially just to get by. Now the two of them are stuck living together in a small rundown apartment, where he's spending what little money she earns to keep working on his comics. The problem is Mandy doesn't have a stable or high-paying job, so their income is barely enough to cover the basics. She's struggling, trapped in a situation she no longer wants to be in, with someone who's clearly using her. It's a sad turn for someone who once had big dreams, and now seems weighed down by someone else's dead-end ambitions. Aunt Deborah washed her hands of it, and now Mandy's left to deal with the fallout. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.